Hill. I'm doing biological sciences. I'll just be going into my second year. I'm from sort of Preston-ish way, so I'm not too far. I'm a first generation student, so I'm the first in my family to come to uni. I'm also an estranged student, so I'm kind of on my own in it. And I'm partially deaf, so I'm a disabled student. I have no contact with any of my family. I've had to do everything on my own. I don't have anyone to guide me on, the forms to fill in, where to go for things. Even like moving in, I pretty much did that by myself. There's other students sort of talking about their families, and it's a difficult topic to bring up, but it also kind of makes it difficult to relate to my peers. It does have its perks, like I got here, so that's a perk in itself. But I would say that nobody knows what I should be doing. The instructions aren't always very clear. I love to learn, which is so geeky, but I'm here because I'm doing something that I really, really enjoy, and it's the only reason I'm doing it. So I'm partially deaf, so completely in one ear and a little bit in the other. I struggle a lot in quite big social situations. I tend to keep groups small when I can, but that's not always an easy thing to do. I also rely on lip reading, which with masks has been the biggest pain. I would say that I avoid certain situations that would potentially make me uncomfortable, which means I miss out on experiences. I got given a support plan. That's a very flexible plan, so when I'm back in lectures it can be changed very easily, which I think is really good. I had an experience in my first year of my flatmate being very difficult about my hearing, so I kind of have first-hand experience that some people seem to think it's a big deal or something that it's not. I do find that most people, once I tell them, they're decently alright with it. When you say I'm partially deaf, they start sort of going, "Can you hear me?" and assuming that I can't hear them at all. It's embarrassing. It kind of makes you not want to tell them, but then that can make things difficult in itself. I support myself financially. I live independently, essentially. I know how to do everything for myself. It just means that I can't ask for help. I know a lot of students have the fortune of, when they're short on cash, they can go to the bank of their mum and dad. I don't have that to fall back on, so I have to be a lot more careful with what I do. It kind of makes things a bit less enjoyable. I do get the bursary for being an estranged student. I've looked at the hardships fund, but the problem with that is you have to show you're applying for jobs, which is a bit of a chicken or the egg, because I can't apply for jobs because I can't find any that I can actually do. The thing with being a student is it tends to be bar jobs or cafe jobs, which you can't do with a hearing problem. So I'm very much struggling with that. So I think as an estranged student, I don't know anybody else in a sort of similar situation to me, and that would be very helpful if I did, because it would make me feel like I'm not the only one. If there's people at the uni could facilitate that, that would be very helpful. As a disabled student, I think there's a lot more in place, but I don't really know what's going to happen when I get back into lectures, so I think that would be something that I'd need to know. I want to just say that the guild has been really, really good this year. I've probably spoke to the guild more than I've spoke to my peers. They've been brilliant, with the events they've put on and getting people engaged. So I took part in a lot of the Zooms to begin with, so sort of the craft things, and I did part of this behind us.